everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I'm making a Strawn's pie, which is a restaurant pie from a place nearby that we love to go to. I just showed you the ingredients that I've been using. This one is the cornstarch, or use organic cornstarch that I buy from Amazon. It's non-GMO, and I use 3 tablespoons of it. And I actually first just showed a picture of the pre-made pie crust that I like to use. It's organic also, and I get them at Whole Foods. Thank y'all so much for being here today with me and making this pie with me. It's really fun to make, and my kids seem to really love it. Next, I'm showing you the cane sugar that I like to use. It's also organic, and a pinch of salt, sorry. And I'll stir it up. And in a couple seconds, you'll see me add a couple tablespoons of water to the mixture of cornstarch, salt, and sugar. So at this clip, I just realized that I completely forgot that I needed to boil the water before adding in the dry ingredients. So here I add 1 cup of water, and I make sure that it's filtered water. It's just better. It filters out all the contaminants and the chemicals, things like that. So here it is, stirring up the tablespoon of water along with the dry mixture while my other mixture came to a boil. And I also wanted to point out that I try to use stainless steel as much as possible. So I use stainless steel or glass mixing bowls because those are super important to our health. I try to limit plastics as much as I can. Obviously, nobody's perfect, and I still, am trying to make swaps. I'm trying to unlearn things and just make better choices, for my health, for my family's health. And, the more you know, the better you can do. So here I'm showing you that it came to a boil, and it's kind of turning into like a simple syrup mixture where it kind of becomes thick, and this is the filling of the pie. And you'll notice I'm referring to my recipe. So here I use organic lemon juice, and I'll be using 1 tablespoon of that. I mainly buy my food from Whole Foods. I just find that they have the best quality of food around where I live, and it's the best selection of organic. This is important too. I use the Watkins food coloring. It does not have the dyes in it that like the Red 40 or the Blue Lake, things like that. That is super important. That is one of the biggest things that I have found that affects my children, especially hyperactivity, their brain. We try to limit dyes in our family, in our house, as much as humanly possible. So that was a really big thing for me. We have to take a moment to recognize my favorite oven mitts that say "eat cake for breakfast," because, sometimes your girl just needs some cake for breakfast. So in this clip, I just kind of wanted to lay out all of the ingredients that I was going to use to assemble the pie. I'm using organic heavy cream, and I had just baked the pie because you're supposed to pre-bake the pie crust. And I also have pre-sliced the strawberries, and they're organic strawberries. And now I'm just measuring out 1 cup of heavy cream. Now, I do want to mention that when I finished making the pie, I felt like I didn't have enough cream to cover the entire pie. So if I were doing this again, I would probably do at least 1.5 cups to 2 cups, because I like a lot of, frosting or like the pie topping. That's just my favorite part. So, And I made sure to smell the heavy cream before I dumped it all in, because who wants rotten smelling milk? So yeah, always have to do the smell check. And here I'm just whipping it up, and you'll, find find that it takes me a while. It probably takes me a good 5 or so minutes at a moderate speed. I didn't want to do it too high and fast because my daughter was in the other room and I didn't want her, to be too afraid of the sound of it. So I have just really enjoyed baking, and I feel like taking care of my family is so important to me. And we honestly don't do desserts very often at all, but every so often as a special treat. And I try to make sure to use good ingredients when I can. And they love it. My family loves sweets, every single one of us. We all have a big sweet tooth, and I know that's not 100%, non-toxic and all that, but, sometimes you just gotta live a little. And here I'm about to add the organic powdered sugar to the whipping cream. And yeah, I would love to know y'all's favorite desserts that you make for your family. What do y'all like to bake or cook? We love brownies, we love pie, we love muffins, especially now that the fall is coming around. I like to make a carrot cake. That's absolutely delicious. Sometimes carrot cupcakes. Yeah, we just, that's just what we love to do. And that's what I love to do. I love to bake. I don't do it super often because we do try to watch, our sugar, but thank y'all so much for joining me today, and I would love for you to subscribe. I have had a few views, but I don't have any subscribers. So if you enjoy this, be my first subscriber. I would absolutely love to have you. So I am finally finishing up the whipped topping for the pie here, and it's finally, the toppings come into like the stiff peaks that you want to see. As it continues to go, it gets kind of thick, and so that's kind of what you're looking for when making the topping. So yeah, how are y'all's weather wherever you are? Where we're at, it's really, really hot. And so during the day, we are pretty much inside, but honestly, one time a day for about 30 minutes, I'll go out and lay out because getting vitamin D is incredibly important for our bodies. Our body converts vitamin D, and it's just great for our hormones. And honestly, vitamin D from the sun is the best form of vitamin D that you can possibly get. So highly recommend trying to get some sun at least 20 to 30 minutes a day, wherever you live, for your hormones. And actually, something that I heard pretty lately that was really interesting was that during the summertime, your body is supposed to you're supposed to get the most sun, to make vitamin D that lasts you throughout the winter, to help boost your immunity throughout the winter and things like that. So I thought that was a pretty interesting little tidbit. So right now in the video, I'm just kind of testing. I have clean hands, but I'm just kind of testing the temperature of the filling that I made to make sure that it's not too hot, before I pour it into the strawberries and mix it all up together. Yes, I know my pie crust was cracked. I assume that either my children got into it before I was able to use it, or it was cracked when I got it, which I don't remember it being cracked, so I don't know about that one. But yeah, it was cracked, but it still tastes good. And I also wanted to mention that when I use food, when I need paper towels for food, I will like to use the unbleached brown paper towels that you can buy. I think Whole Foods sells it, Amazon sells it, but they don't have the bleach and the chemicals that the normal white paper towels contain. So these are just like little swaps here and there. You don't have to swap everything at once, but just like little things that I've kind of picked up on the last 5-6 years that I feel like are kind of important. And, especially when it comes to food, I don't want bleached items touching my food. So I think it's even more important if the food was hot. So if I were like to be getting grease off like some hot meat or something like that, I would definitely be using the brown unbleached paper towels. And here I'm just filling the rest of the pie that I have already baked in the pre-made pie shell. I'm filling it up with the glaze and the strawberries, and we are about to be finished. And all in all, the pie really only takes about maybe 20 to 30 minutes from start to finish. So in my opinion, that's a win. When a mom who's busy doesn't have a whole lot of time during the day to be doing stuff, and I stay home right now with my 4-year-old while my other two are in school, so she needs a lot of my attention during the day. So if I try to do something on my own, it's got to be quick. I wanted to thank y'all so much for joining me today, and please subscribe if you like this type of content, homemaking, non-toxic swaps and living. I would just love to have you here. So yeah, consider subscribing and joining me. I'll try to post weekly videos, at least once a week, maybe twice or more if I'm able to. So yeah, I just wanted to let you know that I enjoy having you here, and thank you so much for watching. I'm finishing up the pie right now, and I will add the finishing touch, which is just like a little strawberry on top to make it all pretty. So thank y'all so much for joining me today, and I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of the day and a blessed week ahead.